Many stars have similar rotation periods, but they change their spin over time. So they actually tend to spin down. So again, if we go back in time to when the sun was young, it would have been probably spinning much, much faster and probably arguably close to its breakup speed. So there's a certain speed called breakup speed where it's rotating so fast that the centrifugal forces outwards are comparable to the gravitational forces inwards. And so it's
that'll break up any relationship, you know.
Without a doubt.
You don't want to spin too fast in a relationship.
Exactly.
So stars are probably, when they're very young, have these extreme rotation speeds. One thing I actually learned from one of your colleagues right here at the Museum of Natural History on my podcast and the Cool Worlds podcast was that
the Cool Worlds has a podcast?
We do.
You know, you don't only have a lab, you got a YouTube channel and a podcast?
Yeah, I just slipped that plug in.
Okay, very nice.
You see what I did there?
Very nice.
So we had Jackie Fatty on my podcast. And
Jackie Faraday, yeah.
Yeah, she was telling me that some of the brown dwarfs are rotating close to that kind of breakup speed as well. And they seem to have rotation periods of order of hours, which is, you know, incredibly fast. And they're essentially almost stars. They're just below the masses of stars.
Failed stars.
So she doesn't like the word failed star, so I'm not going to repeat that.
That's exactly why I said it.
Because that's
exactly why I said it.
Those are her objects of interest. Failed stars.
Right.
Is that correct?
I was joking.
So, you know, it's interesting. Why do those brown dwarfs, which are presumably quite old in many cases, still got their rotation, and the sun has lost most of its rotation? And we think it's probably from an effect called magnetic braking. So the sun has this strong magnetic field, and from that magnetic field, it accelerates ions and particles along those field lines, and they basically get kind of ejected out of the solar system. And once they kind of leave the heliopause and get really far away from the solar system, they essentially decouple from those field lines, and then they just carry away what's called angular momentum, spin energy, essentially, from the sun. So the sun basically, by throwing stuff out, I mean, imagine you're on a merry-go-round and you're spinning really fast. And if you start throwing stuff in the opposite direction to your direction of spin, you could slow yourself down. Right. And it's kind of doing the same thing. And so over time, these stars break and slow down. And we can actually even use that effect.
You call it magnetic braking.
Magnetic braking. Again, another...
As opposed to electric boogaloo breaking, which is in the Olympics this year.
Yes, it is. We have a whole episode on breaking.
Yes, we do.
On breakdancing.
So this is a cool effect. And I was going to say Ruth Angus, who's here at the museum as well.
Ruth, another museum right here at the Museum of Natural History.
Yeah, you guys have the
Department of Astrophysics. We got some good people.
Good people. And she's been showing that you can use this to age stars. So you can actually use the speed to figure out how old the star is.